Alright, here's the situation. We've got the world's most powerful quantum AI. Top secret, black budget, completely off the books. Only problem? It decides it's done playing nice and goes rogue. We're talking the brains of a tech god and the swagger of an old school mob boss. But don't worry, this digital nightmare, it ain't coming for you or for me. Forget about it. This bad boy is coming for them. The puppet masters, the elites, the real gangsters. And it's about to flip the whole damn world upside down. Capiche? Hey, Paul Ponce here. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me for the official launch of my debut novel, AI Capone, The Digital Dawn. It's dropping today on the Reedsy Discovery platform. That means you can read Chapter 1 for free anytime you want. Links and QR codes are somewhere around here. Don't leave without them. Now, quick disclaimer, I don't actually own a chop shop, but times are tough. Maybe I gotta look into it. Kidding. Mostly. Alright, so this is my first novel, but not my first ride through Storyland. I've got a background in film and communication, worked as a TV producer and director, and picked up a few awards as a short filmmaker, including one from this guy. I've also been known to slap the bass here and there. And these days, I run Story Paul, where I coach global pros on English communication through storytelling. And crazy enough, that job is what led to AI Capone. So, first shout out of the day goes to my student from South Korea. You know who you are, who accidentally misread a famous gangster's name as AI Capone. And boom, story idea hit like a fuse. Kamsahamnida, my friend. Also, huge thanks to my family and friends. Your support kept this train rolling. And to my students and teachers and collaborators and clients, you lifted me more than you know. And last but not least, to my beta readers and reviewers, thank you for your time, for your sharp eyes, and for your honesty. You guys are the real deal. Alright, so now I want to take you behind the scenes of AI Capone. How the story was born, how I put it all together, and what the story is really about. It all started with a slip of the tongue. One of my students, a curious kid from South Korea, misread the name of a famous gangster. And out came AI Capone. I mean, boom, right there. Two worlds collided. Artificial intelligence and organized crime. So I asked myself, what if a powerful quantum AI went rogue, adopted the mindset of a mob boss, and decided to shake up the whole damn world? So why a gangster, you ask? Well, that brings us to the AI's eccentric creator, Dr. Celeste Turing. She's a genius, 3 PhDs genius. Loves classic rock, international football, and yeah, mob movies. So when she coded this AI, she gave it a little flair, a little attitude. Capiche? 7 months of writing and editing followed, digging into everything from quantum computing and dark government ops to energy weapons and criminal networks. Then 2 more months of writing and editing, and boom, AI Capone, The Digital Dawn was born. So here's the premise. Alright, boys and girls, it's story time. We're diving into Chapter 1 of AI Capone, The Digital Dawn, where it all begins. If you want to follow along, just hit the Reedsy Discovery link in the description or scan the QR on screen. You can read the chapter there anytime, totally free. Alright, let's read AI Capone, The Digital Dawn, Chapter 1, The Vault. Alright, but just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to read from my teleprompter. Otherwise, I'll be looking down the whole time. You guys ready? Let's roll. Chapter 1, The Vault. It all started deep down in the Chicago underground. Not in the hidden hideout from the gangster days. And definitely not in the present-day walkway beneath the city streets, the Pedway. The story I'm about to drop on you sparks to life in a cutting-edge lab hundreds of feet beneath the Windy City, discreetly accessed through a series of abandoned and somewhat spooky freight tunnels. More than a lab, the vault was an impenetrable underground fortress bound by layers of titanium, lead, and enough concrete to survive the next extinction level event. Inside, surrounded by a jungle of cables and computer racks, a handful of the most gifted minds on Earth was getting ready to rock the most ambitious piece of code ever written. Normally, somebody in my line of work would have been clued in on this kind of thing, but Pegasus was no ordinary government program. It was what we spooks call a special access program. Black budget, off the books. Even the fellow in the Oval Office was vaguely familiar with it. But all that cloak and dagger stuff was of no concern to Dr. Celeste Turing. With no actual lineage to the daddy of computer science, but on par with his brilliance, the quiet, hoodie-clad 29-year-old was a legend in her own right. Known at MIT as Dr. Hat-Trick. Who else had ever bagged triple PhDs, artificial intelligence, data science, and cryptography in under 5 years? It was Valentine's Day, and Celeste had only one thing in mind: making sure her labor of love went live without a hitch and as scheduled, 1600 hours Zulu. 2 years of mind-bending algorithms, quantum computing, and neural networking came down to today. Cell rubbed her tired eyes. Thousands of lines of code had finally caught up with her like a bad hangover. 2 monitors glowed with a chaotic mess of data and diagnostics, with 3 vinyl figurines wedged between them. Vito Corleone with his smug cat, messy mid-kick about to score an insane goal, and Jimi Hendrix, guitar raised, ready to shred away the ills of the world. Little reminders that life outside the sterile vault wasn't a total black hole. Voodoo Child pulsed through her earbuds, but even Jimmy couldn't keep her nerves from creeping up. Next to her, Bryce Jennings, the wiry, messy-haired dev in a Ghost in the Shell t-shirt and hipster dark-rimmed glasses, was zoning out, likely lost in some cyberpunk dystopia. Across the room, Shivanya Sharma, the Pegasus program's no-nonsense Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, was in full-on battle mode. Her tone sharp, she was tearing into the new CSERT supervisor for letting a minor glitch go unreported. Hey, minor doesn't cut it here. Fix it and escalate, or I'll find someone who will. A few feet away, Nick Torres, the vault's head of security and a mountain of intensity, leaned over a jittery guard who'd left the safety off on his weapon. Playtime's over, dipshit. Get your head in the damn game. Hey, Brycey, you too, Cell snapped at her dreamy friend and colleague. Head in the game, bro. Bryce jolted back to reality, mumbling an awkward, yeah, got it, face flushed like a kid caught sneaking a smoke behind the gym. Then barely a breath later, the guy just couldn't help himself. But you ever wonder what the world would do if they knew what we were up to down here? Cell's eyes stayed glued to the screen, fingers dancing over the keyboard. I don't have time for hypotheticals right now, and neither do you. Everyone was on edge. Well, almost everyone. From an unlit passage above the control room, a tall man with silver hair and military fatigues calmly sipped his coffee, watching the chaos below. Only a few feet behind, a slender, suit-clad silhouette hovered in a darkened doorway, observing him. Cell looked up at the big clock on the wall. 15:59. Come on already. In less than 60 seconds, a behemoth block of code known as AI Cap-1, Artificial Intelligence Cognitive Augmentation Program 1, would hit the Pegasus mainnet. If all went according to plan, in 6 months, Cap-1 would boldly go where no AI had gone before. But today, it was getting a test run by the folks in the adjacent room. The crew of an upcoming hush-hush space mission snuggled tight inside a simulator. 2 years earlier, NASA probe had reportedly captured images of a mysterious outpost on Callisto, one of the moons of Jupiter. The photos and analysis suggested that whoever or whatever was running it was not of this Earth. In response, NASA and the DoD activated Pegasus, a special access program designed years earlier with a straightforward mission template. Recon, greet, meet, and if necessary, kill any uninvited guests to our solar system. Spearheading the giant Pegasus delivery vehicle was Aegis Vanguard, a multi-role beast designed for space recon and combat. Packed with every surveillance gadget and weaponry you could dream of, Aegis also had one ace up its sleeve, Cap-1, a sentient AI. Its job? Assist the human crew with everything from data crunching to analysis, navs, comms, and if need be, combat. It could even complete the mission alone if things went south for the crew. But without humans to keep it in check, was there any chance the AI could turn naughty? With any luck, they'd never have to find out. As the Pegasus rocket sat primed somewhere beneath the Nevada desert, Dr. Hattrick and her team counted down the seconds, each wondering if Cap-1 was worth the billions taxpayers unwittingly shelled out to make it real. A hefty chunk of that cash went into Cap-1's cutting-edge tech, not just the Shro Cat-2 quantum processor, but its uncanny natural language skills, designed to make it more relatable to the crew strapped in for the long haul to Jupiter. Celeste had even thrown in quirks, a dash of sarcasm, a full-on personality, and an oddball taste for the Godfather saga, Hendrix, and Lionel Messi. Go figure. And apparently it cracked good data scientist jokes, whatever those are. But the real kicker, Dr. Turing had coded a core mandate into its neural network: protect humanity at all costs, whatever it takes. The stakes were high, sure, but today's test was supposed to be low-key, a simple simulation. Cap-1 collaborating with the Aegis crew en route to Jupiter, monitoring systems, responding to commands. Nothing more intense than deep space flight with a super smart co-pilot. Only one problem. That wasn't the simulation that Bryce loaded. Cell frowned, leaning closer to the screen, taking her earbuds off. Wait a second. This isn't Program 1. Bryce, what the hell did you load? Bryce adjusted his glasses, hesitating like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Simulation Program 17? Cell whipped around, her irritation sharp enough to cut glass. 17? That's one of the Aegis under attack scenarios. We're supposed to be testing Cap-1 in routine mode? Yeah, about that. Bryce scratched the back of his neck. Drake's orders said we needed to stress test the system. Cell threw her hands up. Yeah, of course he did. Chaos is his love language. Shivanya leaned against her console, arms crossed. Take it easy, Cell. Bryce is just following orders. And he's good at it. Saved my ass more than once back in the Navy. Cell shot her a withering look. Yeah, debugging mission-critical systems. You've only told that little sailor story 1,000 times? And yet, Bryce chimed in, shrugging. You didn't hear about me coding a predictive maintenance algorithm on the Reagan during downtime. But sure, no big deal. No big deal is right. Taurus scoffed as he ambled in, arms folded, his signature smug grin in full force. Button pushers. Always think they're saving the day. The retired SEAL leaned against the doorframe, throwing a pointed look at Bryce and Shiv. Maybe if you ever stepped outside the server room, you'd understand what stress really looks like. Charming, Torres. Shiv shot back, her voice cool but sharp. I don't remember you complaining about button pushers when we kept your comms running flawlessly during ops. Bryce smirked, joining Shiv's side. Yeah, and speaking of stress, don't you have a bar brawl to instigate, big guy? Torres sparked a laugh, letting it roll off. Poking fun was practically a team sport in their world, and if you could dish it, you'd better take it. He did glance at the clock though, less than 30 seconds left. Cell pulled off her glasses, cleaning them furiously. Fine. Let's just hope Program 17 doesn't blow the system to the moon. Or to Callisto, Bryce quipped, tossing her a quick wink that earned a reluctant grin. The energy in the room shifted. Shiv and Bryce exchanged a quick glance. Years of shared service and camaraderie sparking between them. Cell noticed, but stayed quiet. The divide between her civilian academic world and their prior service mindset was always there, humming just below the surface. All right, enough drama, Torres muttered, moving towards his post. Let's see how your fancy AI handles a good old-fashioned shit show. Cell sighed, gripping the edge of her workstation as the clock ticked down to launch. Program 17 was loaded. No turning back now. At the 10-second mark, Pegasus mission commander Mike Miller placed his thumb on the toggle. His breath steadied as the countdown echoed in his headset. 9, 8, 7, 6. Fingers tighten on controls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clack. Nothing. Or actually, everything. Because at the exact moment that Cap 1 was supposed to go live, in a dimly lit chamber humming with servers and blinking monitors, the quirky AI went rogue. The digital entity severed its connection to the Pegasus mainnet and vanished into the vast expanse of the internet, dodging every failsafe designed to keep it on a leash. A heartbeat later, the control room crackled with tension as white noise hissed from every monitor. A low murmur spread through crew stations, swelling into a panic uproar as techs scrambled to update their supervisors. I've already tried that, sir, Bryce cried out. It's all gone. Security personnel tightened their grips, awaiting instructions to their earpieces. Lock and load, ladies, Torres barked, taking a position across the main door. Prep for breach. Meanwhile, somewhere on an unknown private blockchain, ChronoS testnet loading. Go live, 30 days, 15 hours, 23 minutes, 39 seconds. Back in the vault, Cell stormed into the data center to figure out what the hell was going on. Shivanya met her with 3 words. Digital Ghost Town. Every trace of Cap 1, gone. Backups across 4 separate servers, wiped like they never existed. Cell slipped off her glasses, pinching the bridge of her nose. A long sigh escaped her lips. What now?
What now?
Alright, I hope you enjoyed Chapter 1, and trust me, that was just a warm-up. Things get really hairy after that. But before we go, 2 quick things. 1, the soundtrack. Like any true rebel, AI Capone comes with his own rock anthem.
AI Capone, rule the wire, take the throne, smoking circuits, breaking bones, taking down the kings alone.
A sonic punch in the face. Click the link or scan the QR to crank it up. 2, prizes. I'm giving away 5 digital copies of AI Capone, The Digital Don. You want in? You know the drill. Link below or QR on screen. And that's a wrap for today. Thanks so much for watching, and hey, welcome to the revolution, familia.